Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm gonna bring another horoscope astrology video. This is today I'm gonna talk about a celebrity's horoscope. This is Katrina Kaif's horoscope. So we'll go through her chart, her Bhava chart, her Navamsha, her planetary like planets, conjunctions, aspect, and yogas, and go through her horoscope and try to get a little like I could explain astrology through these two. So this is a good horoscope to go through. So she is born, so I took the date from I think there are several sources, and I think this is accurate. So she is born in 1983, July 16th, 6:40 morning in Hong Kong. So that's her birth time and place. And when we put that like details, we get these charts. Like, so this is the main chart, and this is the Bhava chart, and this would be the Navamsha. So the main chart, as you can see, she's a Cancer ascendant, and her Rahu is in 11th house in the Rashi chart, the main chart. But in Bhava chart, it goes to just like mistake. Yeah, it goes to the 12th house. Yeah, in the main chart, Rahu is in 11th house, but in Bhava chart it goes to the 12th house. And Sun in the main chart, it's in 12th house, but in the Bhava chart it goes to the Lagna, like the Lagna house, but it's still the same sign. Like in Bhava, like when we analyze the Bhava chart, we don't count the sign, we just count the house placement. So it's still in Sun is in Gemini, but it's in the first house. So that's how we need to interpret this Bhava chart. So her Mercury still it's in the Lagna, like the first house, and the Venus is in the second house, and the Moon is in the third house, and the Saturn is in the fourth house, and the Jupiter and Ketu in the Rashi chart is in a Scorpio sign in 5th house. But in Navamsha, the Bhava chart, Jupiter is in 5th house, but Ketu is in 6th house. And her Navamsha is Virgo rising. And yeah, going through this chart. So the first thing I need to highlight is her Saturn is in Libra. So Saturn being in the 4th house and in Libra sign, it gets extra power. Like it's called exaltation. Like Saturn is in maximum power, and in a Kendra Sthana, it creates a yoga. So it's called this Saturn being in the 4th house in a Kendra, in his exaltation sign in Libra. So it's called Sasa yoga. So it's one of the best yogas like to have, and so that's one yoga. So that Saturn makes that yoga, and we can go through. So her Rahu and Ketu is also in exalted signs, like they are powerful. And Rahu is in Taurus, and Ketu is in Scorpio, both in the best powers. And also in the Navamsha too, I think the Navamsha, Rahu is in good, like Rahu has powerful in Navamsha too. So when Rahu and Ketu is powerful in D1 and D9, it's a pretty good placement. And as you can see, like in Bhava chart, and I calculated the degrees, she actually has a Kala Sarpa Yoga. So Kala Sarpa Yoga is you see the Rahu and Ketu, these planets are always 180 degrees apart. Like if Ketu is here, Rahu is here. If Ketu is here, Rahu is here. So it's 180 degrees. And if all the planets are on either side of that alignment, it's called Kala Sarpa Yoga. But people most astrologers and when we go through the texts from all the main texts, especially Parashara and like the basic astrological textbooks, that yoga is not mentioned. So most astrologers, many astrologers have several what do you call it, it's not interpreted in a good way. Like some say they don't have a yoga called Kala Sarpa Yoga, and some say they do have. Some say it should be make sure it's in there, and if it's not active, like here, this is called I think this descending or ascending. I'm not sure, but when Rahu is in the end of the yoga, like Rahu go like this wise, what you call count clockwise. So I think like Rahu goes or like this way, and when Rahu goes that way, there are no planets on this side. So what people what astrologers say is when Rahu go, if planets are present here and the ascendant have a Kala Sarpa Yoga, that's bad. Like Rahu is gonna eat the planets. But in this case, in Katrina's horoscope, it doesn't happen since all the planets are on the other side. So that's another thing could say Kala Sarpa Yoga is not powerful in her chart. And also in D1 and D9, Rahu and Ketu is strong. It's placed in good signs. So that's another plus to add to say like Kala Sarpa Yoga is not dangerous here. So that's about Kala Sarpa Yoga. But in this chart, so and another thing is another highlight we should when we see a chart like this, every so there are 12 houses, right? And here 1 2 3 4 5 6, considering not Ketu or Rahu, every other planet is placed in 6 signs, 6 houses. In Bhava chart, it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 houses. That's another great yoga. Most people doesn't have it. I think Salman Khan have some yoga 5 signs. So if it's spread in 7 planets, not 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 7. So all the 7 planets are placed in 6 signs. So that's a rare yoga. It occurs rare. So it's another top class yoga in her horoscope, being Sasa yoga, and so we call that as the Daamini yoga. So Daamini yoga is another strong yoga in her chart, and also in and there's another yoga in yogas in astrology, when planets occupy the second house and the 12th house from sun and moon. Like here moon, you can see moon, and if there's planets on either side, this is another yoga. Like you should check from Bhava chart and the D1 to make sure they are part, like they are not on one side or conjunct or something. So in her Bhava chart, so moon here, and there are like Venus on the seconds, on the 12th from the moon, and there's Saturn from second from the moon. So that's another great yoga. We call that as I think it's Veshi Vasi Yoga. So we call it like Veshi Vasi Yoga. Like if you guys, like if one person have a planet 12th house from the moon, it's called I think Veshi or Vasi. Oh, like you get the idea. Like if one planet is being 12th or second from the moon, it's a yoga. She has both, like she has both that yogas. So it's a perfect Veshi Vasi yoga. And not only that, look at sun. So sun is here, and if we so in the Rashi chart, there's no planet 12th from the sun, but in Bhava chart there is a planet. Like so we don't consider Ketu and Rahu in this case, but when we go to the Bhava chart, her sun is here, and you have Mars from this in the 12th house, sun is first house, and Venus in the second house. So that's we call that yoga as Durudaara Yoga. So it happens from the sun. So that's another yoga. Like if you guys have a planet in the 12th house from the sun, that's a yoga. And if you have a planet from the second house from the sun, that's another yoga. She has both of them. So imagine how powerful her chart is. So she has Sasa yoga, she has Daamini yoga, she has Veshi Vasi, the perfect moon yoga, and she has the Durudaara yoga. So her horoscope is powerful. Like I mean it. And if Kala Sarpa yoga is there, those yogas would cancel the Kala Sarpa yoga. That's how powerful her chart is. Like even one of those yogas are not like perfectly present in so many charts. Like and for like, and her Saturn is not afflicted. Like I go through so aspects. I should make another video. So I need to use a specific like a software to check aspects. I use like Jagannath Hora. It's a free software, and so that gives the correct aspects. Like when we consider both Bhava and Rashi chart, using that software we could see which planets aspect which planet and which house. So most of the planets are not afflicted badly. So that makes her yogas, her Raj yogas more powerful. Like imagine like her Saturn in the 4th house makes a Raj yoga, Sasa yoga, and her Navamsha, her Saturn is in a good place. Like imagine in another chart, if Saturn is having Sasa yoga, and if it's debilitated in Navamsha in D9 chart, that cancels the yoga. So her Navamsha is good too. Like I told you, like Rahu and Ketu, it's exalted in the D1 and D9 too. So that's powerful chart. And so yeah, we talked about that her yogas, and then we need to go through and and another yoga I need to mention is she has a Parivartana yoga. So what are Parivartana yogas? Parivartana yogas are like, imagine your third house, like her, like I'll explain using her chart. Like her first house is Cancer, and its lord is Moon. So Moon, where is it? Where Moon is placed? So Moon is placed in the third house, as you can see, and in Virgo sign, right? So who's like Virgo lord, like the third house lord? Which planet owns Virgo? Mercury. So you see a pattern here, like the first house lord in third house, and third house lord is first house. So they exchange their energies. That's how we like interpret Parivartana yoga. Like so imagine like Mercury in first house and Moon is third house, but like Moon being in Parivartana, Moon could be in first house too. Like not like actually in the first house, but it has the first like the sign qualities, and this is a good I'm not sure if it's good, but both planets are exchanging, and it makes both planets strong. Like Moon, especially with Moon being the first house lord. So I think that Parivartana yoga, the first house, the Moon affecting the first house could be a possibility that she got her like the beauty of her. Like we need to check like Moon, Venus, and that could be a reason. And and also her Moon is in the third house, not exalted, but in not in a bad sign, but in Navamsha it's exalted. So that's that. So I told you guys, like Saturn in fourth house, if even if it's exalted in the D1 chart, if it's debilitated in D9, that yoga won't work. That planet is weak. But if Moon is not exalted, but in a like a good sign, but exalted in D9, it's powerful. Like the Moon is powerful. So that's like Moon is good, and I checked the aspects from I calculated the aspects, and Moon is not aspected by most of the like planets. So Moon is in good condition. So her Moon really affects the first house. So and Rahu and I should mention something like in Einstein horoscope, Albert Einstein's, he has Mars Rahu conjunction. So that's his Mars Rahu is in 8th house, and it's closely conjunct. So Mars Rahu. So Mars is, I told you, Mars is fire, and Rahu, what Rahu does? So Rahu and Ketu, so these are Rahu and Ketu. So Ketu doesn't have a ownership. Like Mercury, Virgo is the owner. Jupiter, Pisces. Oh, like several planets have owners, but Rahu and Ketu doesn't have owners. Rahu, if it's in a specific house, it acts as the lord of that house. Ketu does too. And also I'm trying to say, like, yeah, so Mars and Rahu. So Mars and Rahu. So Mars is energy, and if Rahu, so what Rahu does is enhance. So if Rahu is conjunct with the planet, it enhances the condition of that planet. Like Rahu expands, like, and Ketu does the opposite. Ketu brings, like, it dehans, like it shrinks the qualities. So in Einstein horoscope, Mars and Rahu is together. Mars and Rahu, that's a like a powerful yoga, a conjunction. If you guys, if any chart have that yoga, that may be good or bad depending on the chart, but in her case, having those Raj yogas, having those 4 yogas, and having that conjunction, like, it's not closely conjunct. I must say that, like, in Einstein horoscope, I think it's closely conjunct, but her horoscope, it's within 20 degrees, so we still like, we still can think it's conjunct, but we say planets are closely conjunct if they are within 5 degrees, but it's not within 5 degrees, but it's close. So what it does is, so having those 4 yogas and having that specific yoga, Mars Rahu, she's unstoppable. So Einstein had the same. So Einstein is a powerful mathematician, and he was unstoppable in that stream. And her horoscope, Katrina, she's an actress, and being an actress, she's unstoppable. Like, she went to the maximum. So that's how powerful is that yoga is. And and also I said about Rahu being in exalted signs, and especially, like, so beauty is Venus. So surprisingly, Venus is not exalted here, right? So some could argue, why? So Venus should be exalted in actresses, like, she's beautiful. So I think Rahu being in Taurus enhanced the Taurus, the quality. Something like Rahu enhances the quality. So Rahu being in Taurus, something have to do with her, like the beauty and her looks and her, her acting skills. So yeah, that's the basic introduction to her chart. And also, we should talk about her marriage, but yeah, before that, no planet here is debilitated, so that's another good sign in her horoscope. Like, if no planet is debilitated, the ownerships of every house have like, it's not weak. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, so if imagine if Mercury is debilitated here, so who owns Mercury? In this case, 3rd house, Virgo. So if for example her Mercury is not debilitated, but if you have a Mercury debilitated somewhere, so the Virgo third house aspect, like third house prospects, third house characteristics also debilitated. But it's not, it's just one point we should like analyze who's seeing third house, who's like aspecting the third house lord being like conjunct or in good nakshatras or something. Like we should go deeper and deeper, but like her chart is free of debilitation, so that's another good thing to mention. And her sun is Vargottama. Her sun. So sun is in Gemini sign here. Sun is in Gemini. And sun in D9 also in Gemini. So it's we call it Vargottama. So Vargottama is that planet is strong if it's Vargottama. So that's her sun is not weak then. We should interpret as like that. So so and yeah, and we should come to her seventh house, her like the marriage life. So as you know, she's married in the late 30s. She's born in 1983 and she married in like 2021. So why is that? So here the seventh lord in her chart is Capricorn. Capricorn is owned by Saturn. Saturn is in 4th house, exalted, having a good Raja Yoga, but being Saturn is not good. Like Saturn, like her marriage is not bad at all, because 7th house lord is in good powerful. But her marriage happened late because because since there are no aspects from Venus or like moon, or only Mercury is aspecting, but if good planets, like there are benefics and malefics. So Jupiter, Venus, moon, Mercury, those are benefics and the rest are malefics. So if benefics aspects the 7th house, the marriage is going to be early. But if Saturn or malefics aspects, it's going to be late. And so we should consider her aspects for the 7th house. So considering her aspects, what's gonna aspect her 7th house? I think the sun is also aspecting when we create the, like through the software, when I create the aspect table, shows sun is also aspecting. So being a sun in Bhava chart in the 1st house, it's close degrees within the first and like in the beginning of the 12th house. So it closely within the 1st house. So it aspects the 7th house. So that's another malefic. So Sun Rahu aspecting 1st house, and the 7th house lord being Saturn. All these factors make her marriage late. But she has Venus Mars aspect, like not 100%, but like slightly like 75% or something. Yeah. So she that's what we call like enhancing like sexuality, like a good yoga to have in anyone's chart. If Venus or Mars conjunct, it doesn't necessarily mean like the person is bad in sexual affairs, but she has strong sexual energy. So that makes the ascendant beautiful too, in another like more sexier. That's how we could say that. So that's another way to go through, and having Venus Mars conjunction makes the marriage fast, like early, but her being like most of the more points to the later marriage probably made it. And we should check the dashas too. So and also when we consider the aspect table, the moon is aspected by Mars, so that's what we call Chandra Mangala Yoga. So that's another not a good yoga for the marriage life. So so that's those are some ways to like go through several like the marriage life. And so when we consider the marriage life, so we go to the conclusion she's going to marry late. And when we go through her like the dashas, so she's going through Rahu Mahadasha from 1997 to 2015. So Rahu is exalted, right? Rahu is powerful. So that's when she began acting, and when was she married? So she married in through the internet we can find she married in 2021, but her boyfriend, like the current husband, came into life after like 2017 18 or somewhere like that. And we can I talked about like Jupiter transit and predicting the marriage time in my first video, and we could use that too here. So the seventh lord is Saturn. Saturn is placed in Libra, and in Navamsha Saturn is placed in Scorpio. And we go, so we write Libra and Scorpio and go through the Jupiter transits, and we can clearly see her marriage times are between like her most serious relationships occurred. I can't exactly remember the time now. So 17 18 is one time Jupiter transited. Wait, I'll just quickly go through the specific dates. So it so Jupiter transited in Libra in 2005 to 2006. So that's a major relationship that might have happened, and we don't know for sure. She knows that, but we could probably know this relationship in with Vicky Kaushal. So it should occur between 2017-18 when Jupiter transited in the Libra sign as the seventh house planet lord sign. So as you can see, she started that relationship at that time, and when she she when did she marry? She married in no, not married. Like so she had Jupiter and Saturn, Jupiter Mahadasa and Saturn Antardasa. So Saturn is strong in her fourth house. So that's another. And most importantly, Saturn is her seventh house lord. So when you have a addition like so, so I'm going to tell you another principle you should keep in mind. Like so, maybe Jupiter is transiting over your seventh house, but that's not enough to predict that relationship would last. Like it's so I told you guys, like it's gonna end and there's another Jupiter transit. So what happened here was she's having the Jupiter transit in her seventh house lord placement sign. In addition to that, she was having the seventh house lord Antardasha. So that's another indication. If you're having your seventh house lord Dasha or Antardasha, it's a strong, what do you call it? You could predict your that's a strong indication your marriage would like relationships could like having lasting relationships. So that's how we should interpret her married life. And being a Saturn, her Darakaraka is Saturn. So in my previous video I told you guys, Saturn being what do you call it, like Saturn being makes the person have an older partner. And I'm going through, Vicky is like far more younger than her, so it doesn't add up. So I checked the nakshatra Saturn placed in. Saturn is placed in Mars nakshatra. So who's Mars? Mars is younger. Like if you have Darakaraka as Mars or your Darakaraka nakshatra as Mars, that's a major indication how your partner is like probably younger than you. So yeah, we should consider every that was in nakshatra. So that's what. So we should go through so many details in predicting someone's life. So yeah, this is for this video. I think I told most of the points I need to highlight. So yeah, she's a strong character and she's having I think this period is not like a good time for her. Like she's having her like her Saturn is transiting over her moon, like Sande sathi, Saturn bad time. She's having till like 2025. So that's not a good like that's I think that may be probably her end of her acting career. Like eventually you're not gonna like dance forever, act forever. So I think yeah, so that's something you should keep in mind. Anyway, she's a great actress. My favorite Bollywood actress. So yeah, you guys enjoy the video and I'll come up with another celebrity horoscope and I'll teach you astrology with that. Thank you guys. Have a great day.